So today we're going to be talking about how 21st century skills are going to impact a classroom as in a teacher format and as students learning as well, and how we can tie some of these skills and new technologies we have acquired into our teaching methods today. The first set of things we're going to talk about today is background information on the technology you're going to be teaching in your classrooms. We're not just going to, well, you still can use lecture and notebook paper and look at a book and tell them to read this assignment. But really what we're doing here today in this workshop is talking about 21st century skills and tools and the technology you can use in your classroom to help the students learn better today. The first tool we're going to be talking about in this workshop today is the smartboard. The smartboard came out several years ago, and it came out with 4 markers and an eraser. They're not really markers, they're electronic markers. And what it does is it basically mirrors your computer screen with a bigger screen that you can share with the whole classroom. And with this innovation, it's easier to show a more difficult lesson to the classroom instead of just talking about it and going on a chalkboard and writing it all out. It makes it easier. The erasing is a lot quicker. It doesn't leave a mess like a chalkboard does. And it's also a great way to show videos that you can't usually do on a chalkboard. And that's our first tool that we're showing you today is the smartboard. And now our second tool we're going to talk about today is the iPad. The iPad has been brought out by Apple for multiple years, but it is lately hitting the classroom inside. By that I mean teachers are now getting this knowledge that bringing their iPads that the school is providing them and throwing out quizzes, tests, anything like that. My stepdad works at Edgelia Elementary. He loves it. You show out a quiz, you send it to their iPad, they complete it on the iPad, they send it back to you. It's graded, it's taken care of, everything's done. So the iPad is helping teachers being able to multitask as a teacher and also helping the students learn more a lot better than just a piece of paper and they turn it in and the teacher takes 2 to 3 days to get back to them. They know their score right away. So they know that what they need help on and what they really need to work on. And also when I did my 205 experience last semester, I went to an elementary school and students were able to play educational games on their iPads, which would also help them in the classroom with learning the material that they need to know that moment. The next thing I'm going to discuss with you today is moving on to 21st century skills. The two most I think about are critical thinking and problem solving. They are closely kind of related but a little bit different thinking. As you can see on the picture, you have a lot of ideas, brainstorming, figuring out problems, so that leads into the problem solving aspects, which you can see with the Rubik's Cube on the video right now. And these are two important skills that are going to go with you through the rest of your life. Whatever you're doing as you're a teacher, 30 years down the road, you're still going to have critical thinking and problem solving. If you're a CEO, if wherever your employment opportunity is, you're going to need both of these skills, and 2 of these skills are very important to use for the rest of your life down the road as well. That's why we're talking about them today as the 2 probably main 21st century skills, also the use of technology as well. The next 21st century skill, and another step to be digitally literate, is going to be designing your own lesson plans, getting creative with it. You have all this technology, but it's really pointless to use unless you have a plan of action trying to plan around your students' interests. You have this iPad, this smartboard, all this other technology in the world that you have the background information to, you know, all the tools and how they work, and this is where designing your lesson plan gets into the inner works of your whole teaching aspect, is to design a great lesson plan that also keeps the students interested, but also makes them being able to learn a lot easier than usual with designing a nice creative lesson plan that's going to enhance their education. The last main aspect of being digitally literate and a big thing for the 21st century skills is also the social aspect. Students are now getting Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that much younger, so you need to be careful at what you put on there. As certain teachers have lost jobs due to social media incidents. But the positives are you can also remind students that there's a homework assignment due or do they need to study for a test. So that's the last aspect of this workshop for being digitally literate and talking about 21st century skills. So thank you for listening and good luck with your students.